new series called MGR Alumni Sharing Series, and I'm glad to invite for the first episode we have Mr. Arun Kumar, the co-founder of Wizer, and he's our alumni from the batch of 2015. He has passed out from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and we also have with us Dr. Rama Vaidyanathan, the Director of R&D. We have Dr. L. Ramesh, the Dean Events, Publication and Alumni. We have Dr. Ganeshan, the Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering. So I welcome everyone. So before that, may I request Dr. L. Ramesh, Dean Events, Publication and Alumni to welcome the to give the welcome address.
Yes, yes. It was very, very great and a very happy start from Abdul Kalam Research and Innovation Center in association with MGR Alumni Association. Very happy that initiative started because the initiative is always a best one to continue. So the first initiative is start from our very great alumni Arun. Uh, very warm welcome, Arun. Very happy that when I saw your big face in the poster, and the poster was very nice, and I'm very happy and how Arun had a discussion with me through when he had a literary seminary, and that time itself I know that in future he is going to become a very good leader. So thank you so much, Arun, and with your initiative it has to be grown in a big way, and that this alumni series, this talk will be helpful very seriously for our present students, and this is going to be the big video in the our YouTube channel, so that all the students will able to know the information what you are going to share, so that it will be helpful, very much helpful for our all the students. I hear Arun taken lot of initiative when he had as the secretary of literary seminary, and like that a new initiative started by the Abdul Kalam Research and Innovation Center, and the right speaker they identified. That is what I thought. So welcome, and welcome the head of the department mechanical Ganeshan sir, and welcome Rama ma'am. And I am very happy that alumni association like this, the each department or research center will take little initiative, so that collectively we can able to come out with a big success story of alumni. So we all know that by the connecting alumni and present students is the big gap. Again, still it is there. So I can admit that because we had a 18,000 alumni, but till now maybe we can talk some 3 years back, and there is no alumni database strongly. But we have database now, but the connectivity is not there. See, the present students connectivity has to be there with your alumni. That is the thing. So that this kind of program will be very helpful, and I am very happy today ma'am is going to tell more about the MTech, which is going to be connect, and that MTech it is solely helpful for our alumni to connect with our MGR through this master degree program. And not only that, and we are planning for a MGR Alumni Innovation Cell, new concept which we are bringing together. We had already discussion with Rama ma'am and the whole team. Within a month, another announcement, big announcement is going to come. MGR Alumni Incubation Cell, like that. So this is what the lot of new initiative which is happening, and we are going to launch a new website for alumni also. And in that, we are planning to release 3 profile book. That is a alumni entrepreneur profile book, alumni industry profile book, and alumni academician profile book. So we are taking lot initiative, and the same time we are getting lot of supports from the alumni also. So that is what I would like to note here, because lot of alumni supporting us in different activities, but for the internship, for some kind of projects and some kind of jobs also alumni are supporting. So thank you all the alumni this time. Plus thank you so much, and I hope I am congratulate the whole team Abdul Kalam who taken the good initiative, and special congratulations to the person who designed the poster. Thank you ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll take the compliments. I was the one who designed it. Thank you so much. And and I'm glad that MGR is doing a lot to connect alumni from various parts of India and across the globe. So thank you so much. Now, may I request Dr. Ganeshan, the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, to deliver the felicitation address.
Good evening to all of you. So I'm very happy today that our alumni has come for the first alumni series. So I'm very happy about that. And I also welcome on my behalf and on behalf of my department, Mr. Arun Kumar. So when I saw the photo, I could not recognize you because you have with the French beard and all. So totally you look differently. When we removed your beard and all, then we could recognize your face, which we were seeing in the year 2012, 13, 14, like that. So anyhow, very happy that today you are with us. And I'm also happy that APJ Abdul Kalam Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship has taken this initiative of arranging alumni series also, because this was done by alumni in charge Dr. Ramesh. Now they also come forward to encourage the alumni and also to encourage our students by bringing the alumni to our university to give a talk on different lecture series. So on this first series today we are having, and also the right topic is entrepreneurship, and also the right person has come today. So I am also very happy about that. So, and also I have circulated this information to all our students of second year, third year, and final year. And I also want to tell that the students are all now in the mood of examination, which is coming from next week. But in spite of that, I told that you should not miss this. And also, I think all the students are watching through the YouTube. So I have shared the YouTube also yesterday itself, and I am sure that more students of the department also will benefit, and they will also come to know how we are also calling the alumni and interacting with them. So it's a very good encouragement for our students by bringing the alumni to our meeting, and alumni is addressing our students, because tomorrow they are going to become alumni. So that the feeling they will also have. So and also I want to tell about the entrepreneurship. That is the need of the hour, especially in our country, where we have a lot of unemployment problem. Every year, the government is also projecting, and opposition also projecting, so many lakhs of people are not employed. So there are various statistics are given. So that is a reality we are seeing. And every year we are also producing lakhs of engineers. So where they will go? So that is also another question. So the only way is to develop the country as well as for the development of the individual also. So we should have we should go for self-employment or entrepreneurship, like that. Government of India also giving lot of encouragement for the entrepreneurship, and also they have brought the newly about the Make in India, that is program, where the government wants everything to be made in India. No longer we should import from the other countries, but still we are importing various electronics and also some of the sophisticated goods from abroad, which technologies we are not having, or we are not having sufficient people to do that. So that scenario should totally change. So for which our budding engineers also should have the that is interest towards the entrepreneurship. So that can be cultivated only through the centers like Abdul Kalam Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. They are doing excellent job for the last 1 decade. I think I am correct. Dr. Ramavadinathan is very much interested, and also in bringing up the students in the area of entrepreneurship. To some extent, she has also succeeded in that by bringing a number of incubators also in our university. So I think this will continue further, and also our present students also will become one day entrepreneur like Mr. Arun Kumar. And I am very happy that Mr. Arun Kumar is with us today, and also he is a founder of a company today. So I don't know much detail about that company. Anyhow, we'll have a separate that is interaction with you. So now I just again would like to welcome you, Mr. Arun Kumar, and I would like to inform that you can just continue with the program because I am having another meeting, another 10 minutes. So otherwise, I wanted to be with you for the entire session. So once that meeting is over, again I will come back to this program and join you. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your work. Very good.
Thank you so much, sir.
Arun, I also need to leave Arun because Lit Fest valedictory I need to attend. Madam is already calling 5 times. Okay.
I already know. I know how that works.
Yes, Arun. Okay. Thank you.
Done, sir. Done. Thank you so much.
So, okay, so let's start this session. So before we start the session, let me introduce our speaker today. Today we have Mr. Arun Kumar. He is our alumni from Mechanical Department of 2015 batch. He is now the co-founder of a company called Wizer, which is an application to find your own personal financial advisor. So, to give an introduction, he co-founded Mitra Learning Solutions while he was doing engineering. Mitra focused on personal attention for students from class 6 to 12, and he launched Surgery Comics in 2014. And one of the reasons he's so popular still in our college is because he actually launched Surgery Comics in 2014, and MGR ERI and Literary Seminary product, which was the first ever launched, first engineering college to launch a fully fledged comic series in the country. And after that, he was an intern in DSP BlackRock Investment Managers in 2014. Then he started his job in Aditya Birla Financial Services in 2016 through MBA campus placements. And after that, he was again called back to DSP BlackRock Investment Managers in 2017, which later became DSP Mutual Fund. So he quit his job in September 2020, and he is starting his own venture. And now he's about to launch the Wizer. So thank you, Mr. Arun, for being with us today. So let us start. So the first question, when I went through your profile, it said that you had started Mitra during your engineering life, right? So tell us how it affected your family life, like, whether they supported you because you were an engineering student. Did they support, or did you have any difficulties? How was it?
Okay. Before I answer that question, thank you so much. I mean, I know Dr. Ramesh and Dr. Ganeshan is not here, but on behalf of them as well, and on behalf of Dr. Rama and the Alumni Association, thank you so much for having me here. I know this is the first episode, and I'm pretty sure, I really hope that this is not your last episode. I really hope that you'll have many more episodes like this, and to truly add value to a lot of students within the university as well. Also, Bhuvna, thank you so much for that introduction. I mean, moving on to the question that you asked when talking about Mitra and correlating that with engineering and how did my family support or not? Absolutely. I think it's a very interesting question, and it's a very important one as well. Family at that point of time, of course, they knew I was juggling a lot of things. They were, of course, worried about the fact that will I be able to manage whatever we were doing already in the first place. They were also, they were also curious to know how I am, planning to attend classes and juggle what I was doing in college with the club and things like that, and at the same time manage operations, because predominantly we were operating in Bangalore. So I started this just before I moved to Chennai. And so I personally was handling only mostly I was handling the operations and backend from Chennai, and I used to get involved in the teaching only when I was probably during my semester breaks and all of that. So mostly it was not because I was really good at it. It was because I had a fantastic team behind it as well, and most of them were phenomenal. And even if there were some client calls during college hours, all I had to do is just forward these calls to my teams, and they ensured conversion. They coordinated well, they spoke to the students. So it was never just me. It was because like you rightly put, family was great. They were supportive. My team was great. They were on top of a lot of things. So yeah, to give you an answer in one line about the question, I had complete 100% support from the family, predominantly because they trusted what I was doing. And I just was very lucky for that. So, so yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it is actually important that we get family support. Otherwise, it's kind of difficult for us. Yes. So moving on to the
If
next
I may
question.
interrupt, so
Yes.
where you were, so was this
Sure.
completely a voluntary organization, or were you paid for? Did
Oh,
you get any
no. It was not an
payment for
NGO, or
this?
it was not a voluntary organization. No. We didn't operate like that at all, ma'am. So what we were doing is, since the gap that was there, that we identified at that point of time, because we did not have an online splurge of very personalized attention like we have today. The online world was not that big. Say in 2010, 2011, it was not that big. Mostly it was, if students had to seek help outside of class, it was nothing but another class of 50, 60 students all over again. So the gap was that there was no personal attention that the student was getting, or there was no personal lessons that was passed on. So if I have to give you a brief example, if I have to go as crude as possible, I'm sure all of us, the students also remember, we had this very simple experiment called Ohm's law in physics back in the day, right? So to basically figure out what the resistance was. So to my surprise, where I got my first validation was even 11th standard student did not know what a resistor looked like. Right? Resistor is something that we could buy it for less than a rupee in your nearest hardware store or your nearest electrical store. You could just buy it. But people did not really know what it was. And so what we did is, even with our first student also, I still remember, we took the apparatus home. So we were taking resistance apparatus home, and we were actually doing the experiments and showing them what it was. We did similar stuff for, let's say someone had to understand a CRT monitor. We were breaking down television systems and then showing them what CRT monitor actually meant. So that's the kind of gap that we were identifying in terms of personality. It was not just, oh, let me go teach some students and make some pocket money. It was way beyond that. We had actual purpose. We wanted to make a solid dent in the education system by itself. So that's how we were operating predominantly.
So the focus was more on practical and do and learn.
Practical personal attention, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's how it was.
That's interesting. Thank you.
Okay. So the next question for you, Arun. Now that you're soon launching Wizer, that is an application to find a personal financial advisor, tell us how you were able to come up with this idea.
So, because I was working in the personal finance space, which is always that space almost. It's almost like that space found me. It's not like it. Honestly speaking, it happened to me. But if you have to really say, how did I come up with the whole idea, and how did we actually start, and things like that? It's all about, to be very honest, it's all about identifying gaps, right? So I give a lot of credit to genuinely finding gaps in the system. That's it. Just find wherever there is a need, wherever there is a problem, and you need to find a solution for that. So because I'm in the personal finance space, a lot of my friends, a lot of my immediate colleagues who are not working in the personal finance space, they always wanted to be like, they always came up to me and like, okay, you're working in this space, why don't you manage my money, right? Why don't you tell me where to put my money? Or why don't you tell me how to go about things? And generally, like, I have some money, I have some surplus. The only thing that I know is, let's say, fixed deposits, or maximum I know some LIC and all of that. But I don't really know, half of the things that come up on TV, or I don't really know how to invest my money or grow my money. I don't know anything of this sort. So can you help me? So I can help 2 people, I can help 3 people, I could probably help 50 people. But what do I do if I have to help 1.2 billion people? Right?
Yes.
So if I have to scale, I really need to find a platform where people can just come in and just download the application and then find experts who are listed experts who could probably help them with their money, right? Now, for that, secondly, what do I have to do? I really have to know if there are experts out there in the country, right? Now, you'll be surprised to know that there are 1.2 lakh listed experts, financial experts in the country, right? Now, where do I find them? You can either go to Just Dial and then you'll be bombarded with spam calls, right? Or you could probably go to Google and then you will have who does the best SEO on Google, and their ad will pop up right on top, right? But do I really have a platform where I can validate these experts, see what they've done, how many clients have they helped, how much money are they managing, how long have they been in the industry, what is their actual expertise, and then from there, can I really go ahead and book an appointment with them and have a quick chat with them, understand with them? You don't really like that expert, fine, just go on quickly. Let's move on to another expert. Have a call with 2-3 experts, see who fits for you, and then take that person's guidance to help you invest, right? So at this point of time, when I talk about Wizer, I'm probably about 1 or 2 months away from launch. When I say launch, it's the launch of the actual paperwork and licensing and all of that. But apart from that, if you ask me validations, it's been great. So when I actually came up with the plan initially, it was not this simple, right? That's the most difficult part about coming up with a business idea per se. The answer to that question is very simple. If you build a platform like that, okay, it's going to be great, but will people be ready to pay for this platform, right? That's where the crux of the business lies. People will love it. You're going to build a platform where you're going to do matchmaking between an investor and an expert, but can you also make money out of this? Is there a business proposition to this, right? Once I started digging deeper into that, once I started understanding that better, once I had enough and more validation from the market itself, that's when I decided to go ahead and launch Wizer, and then taking that as a serious business proposition by itself.
Great. Yes. So you say that you found out there was a bridge between, there was a need for that platform, and you try to do that, right? So you found out that there was a need for this platform, right?
I don't think figuring out a need is going to solve the problem. You have to really figure out if there is a need, and will there be people willing to pay for that also. Yes. Otherwise, there's no business. Otherwise, you end up becoming goodwill, right? Otherwise, there's nothing beyond that's happening there. It just ends there. There is a need for a lot of things, but figuring out that if you can really solve a problem, okay, great. But if you solve that problem, will people be ready to pay for that? That's the real question.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, very good. If I may ask, how many investors have you got into your platform now?
So when we started off, we just started off as a landing page. When I say, breaking down landing page for the listener as well, it's just the first page of a website. It's a simple page of a website. I wanted to, before even looking at designing the landing page and what to put on my landing page. So the first thing that I did was I signed up on an accelerator platform. So for some people who are not aware about accelerator platforms, an accelerator platform is where even if it is an idea, you can list it on the accelerator platform and you can find a network of really to help you make into help you make this into a full-fledged business. I can't tell you that this has really do this idea or not. That's where it started off by listing myself on a platform.
I think your voice is breaking. Can you check your internet connection? Your voice is breaking. Oh, is it? No, there is a lot of disturbance from your side. It got stuck.
Can you call him over the phone, Bhuvna?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that. You guys have any questions to ask to Mr. Arun, you can put it on the comment section. He will love to answer you guys. Back, Arun. So,
Right. Am I audible?
yes.
Yeah.
Better now?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So,
Sorry, Dr. Rama. Yeah, so for the question that you asked, right, being the point there, after we launched our landing, even before we were a fully fledged business, once we got enough validation, I think about 15-20 days after we launched our landing, we landed our first customer. First customer in terms of the assets under management that we were directed to manage was roughly around 10 lakhs. That's what we initially started off with. Then we've been further validating the plan over and over again with the application and with the landing as well. Then we've got a few offline bookings as well. We've got a few online bookings as well. But overall, we should have about 5 to 6 customers who are there, and we should have about an asset under management that could, once the licensing and all that is in place, we should start off with about 10 lakh rupees.
Okay. That's really amazing, that somebody during your validation stage, somebody trusted you enough with 10 lakhs of their hard-earned money. I think that must have been very gratifying.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. So that's where
So you said
that's where our expert network also matters. These are the advisors or the experts that are there on the platform with us are, firstly they're vastly experienced. They've been handling clients for the last 15, 20 years easily, and they're their knowledge levels are extremely high. They've been seeing different market cycles, so they really know. They're genuine people who really want to add a lot of value to investors. So that's where the actual use is. So otherwise we would just become a platform where just people can find experts. That's it.
okay. So you're saying more. So the app is more of a facilitator. The actual value of your proposition is the type of people that you have, the financial advisors. That is
Definitely,
very, very
definitely. Definitely. So, like I said, if you look at Wizer specifically, from the outside, it may look like matchmaking between an investor and an expert who can really guide people. Right? From that's how it looks like. But honestly speaking, that's not our proposition. That's also our proposition, but we are a completely managed marketplace. It's not like, okay, once you find an expert and once you start investing, after that, what happens, right? So essentially, we are not a bharatmatrimony.com where you find the groom or bride and things are over, right? We will also, putting it into very simplistic measures, we will also ensure that your marriage is working fine. We will also ensure that things are smooth with the family. We will also ensure that your risk is in place. So in my context, it'll be once you invest, there's going to be a performance review every 3 months or every 4 months, and that's all going to be automated within the platform itself. There's going to be a quarterly review, a half-yearly review. All of that is going to come in. There's going to be regular educational events that will happen on the platform itself regarding financial planning by itself. So it's a completely managed marketplace in all essence. So it's not just about matchmaking.
Okay, so there are a lot of advantages when you go together for both the customers and for the service providers. So
absolutely.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next question. So this is my favorite question actually. You're still a popular alumni from starting Surgery Comics. So can you give us some insights on how you were able to match the creativity and teamwork for Surgery Comics' success?
Okay, so it's now again till now it's been my favorite question as well. So so Surgery is a project which is very close to me, and which is in terms of personal validation, that's been a big project for me and for the team in general that we managed to do. So to be very honest with you, Surgery is a perception about me ideating it and then putting it out there and all of that is completely wrong. It was a big massive team effort, right? So it just so happened that we were at that particular year, we were I think our topic for that particular year to do Litfest or Glitter Crazy, I'm not sure that the topic was virtual literature. That was the topic. That was the paper that we were really looking at. So my intention was very simple. My intention was very straightforward. That by the time, so this happened in 2014. So I had been in the literary seminary from late part of 2011, if I'm not wrong. So my intention was very clear. We were doing too much of small time stuff. Let's try and hit the bigger scale. right? We were doing okay. We were doing small university events. We were doing intercollegiate events. Great. We were having interstate events. But how can how can the team and I really put the university and the club on a national map? This was the intention of that particular. When I really looked at it from the outside, that's what I wanted to do, and I was very clear with that as well. So that's that particular at that particular point. That's how the team operated as well, because the communication from ma'am also was very clear. This is what we want to do. We have a massive uphill task to achieve, and where do we start from, right? So luckily for me, that particular year, Comic-Con was coming to India. And since Comic-Con was coming to India, no better time for us to do something, do something about this. And also it will align very well with virtual literature and all of that. So okay, great, Comic-Con is coming. So let's launch our own comic series. Like, why not? Like, we have the capability, we have designers, we can come up with our own script. Production might be an issue, but then we can still go to the college and ask them. So there's no harm in really asking for it, right? So you can really figure out what we have to do. So if it's a reasonable enough plan, then we, for all you know, in a few months we can become the first engineering college who launched their fully fledged comic series, which is produced in-house, created in-house, distributed in-house, everything, right? So we wanted to do the complete picture end to end. Otherwise, see, we could have, honestly, surgery could have been done in half the time if we outsourced the designing, if we outsourced everything else, or even if we had the kind of tools that we have today, we could have done it in half the time, right? But that was not the intent at all. We wanted to do this completely in-house. Let's see how 50 people, 55 people can work together and come up with our own series and launch it in Comic-Con, right? So this was the intention. Intention was very, very clear. Put the university, put the club on the national map. If Comic-Con is a global event that's going to happen, let's put it on the global map. Great. If that's going to create the buzz by itself. So that's how it started.
Yeah. Yeah, I am also happy that I was there at that time. I could experience the promotional.
Oh, I'm sure who were part of the club by then. Everyone turned to some part of designing, to some part of creative thinking, to something, right? So because we did a lot of interesting stuff during that phase. Look at you. I'm pretty sure that you did not even go near the system to even touch Photoshop, but then you ended up designing the invite today, right?
Exactly.
So that's it is a big skill at one point of time, but that's the kind of compounding effect the club itself had on people. Not taking away anything from that. Like I said, I reinstate that purpose as well. Intention was very clear at that point of time. So idea generation was fairly more simpler because 50 people were thinking on one particular idea for months together. So it was a fairly simple process once the intention was clear.
Sure. Now, I want to ask some general questions for the future entrepreneurs. Sure. So, firstly, I would like to ask how to move from an idea to an MVP to a fully fledged business very quickly. Now, because you have a lot of experience right from your engineering life till now, launching Wizer. So, what's your key points?
3 steps: validate. Nothing else, right? If you want to move from an idea that you write on a tissue paper to, let's say, a minimal viable product or an MVP to a fully fledged business, you constantly have to from at the ideation process, you will really have to be ready to validate this process, put this out in the market, even if it is, I don't know if many people know about Ankur Warikoo. Ankur Warikoo said one very interesting thing. So he's the founder of Nearby. He's also a phenomenal speaker for people to hear online as well. He's an inspirational speaker as well. So he comes up. He says things very simple, right? Even if you really want to try and test out an idea today, right? Quickly come up with a website. Even if that's not a fully fledged business idea, right? Just quickly come up with a website. See how people are reacting to this website, right? Just see how people are reacting to this. Figure out a way to say, let's say, if you want to put out some articles or put out some blogs or something like that, see if people are willing to pay like 5-10 rupees for the blog also, right? Which means you're really adding value, and then people are ready to pay for this also, right? So if you want to move from an idea to an MVP to a fully fledged business model, first you figure out an idea where you have a real core problem to solve. Secondly, figure out if people are ready to pay for this idea or not. If the first two steps, even if you get stuck anywhere in the first two steps, revisit your idea all over again and then come back. Thirdly, don't be stuck up on the idea. Be willing to reiterate the idea. See, a lot of founders that I personally met and I've personally interact with as well. A lot of founders go through this dilemma of they have an idea in place. They are not willing to change this idea at all because that was their initial thought process, and they think the market is going to accept this thought process, no, come what may, because they are very confident about it. You'll be very disappointed. You'll be very disappointed that if that's going to be your journey, right? If someone's going to give you a critical feedback and they really invest time in your idea, never let those people go for the entire lifespan of that idea. Keep those people close to you, and if they have something very nice, very nice or very bad or whatever it is to say about your idea, don't be willing. Be completely willing and open to change your plan if need be, right? At every stage, be constantly willing to do that, because you start from a hunch. It's all 50-50%, right? You have a founder's hunch and you have the market reality. Founder's hunch is not always the right way to go about it, maybe. And then you have the market reality. I'm not saying the market is completely right at all points of time. I'm saying use that formula as a 50-50 formula where you take your hunch. At the same time, don't shy away from testing this out from the market. So straightforward, move from an idea to an MVP to an end product, validate the idea, test the idea extensively, figure out if people are willing to pay for this idea. Don't be afraid to reinvent the idea if need be. And then, this one point I really want to mention. Most people feel that the first thing that they have to do if they have to run a business is, first, I will have an office. Second, I will design my visiting card. Third, I will design my logo. Fourth, I will, start making pamphlets and everything about my business, and then I'll go to the market. Please do not make this mistake. I accept it on a public platform. I've done it in the past. Okay, I have failed miserably by doing that because I was young and immature and I did not have people to, put me in the right direction at that point of time. But then I'm telling you, that's not the way to go about it. The most and the only important thing about your business is not your initial investment, is not your visiting card, is not your pamphlet, is not your logo. It's customer. Just focus on that. Focus on your customer. Figure out, put all your brains, put all your time, put all your ideation to figure out how are you going to make somebody believe in your value proposition, and how are you going to make somebody pay for your value proposition. Simple as that. So if you're going to focus completely on your customer, your business is going places, because the customer is your biggest appreciator, is also your biggest critical feedback also. right? So just continue to focus on that. Then, there's no stage, you don't move from an idea or an MVP or a business. You just become a fully blown business if you focus completely on the customer itself.
Okay. Okay. That's actually perfect. I had this answer, but it is good to have again by an experienced entrepreneur. So now to our last question. So it's always a branding, right? If you're from NIT, IIT, or IIM, people are sure that your idea is going to be a hit. So they are always
Right.
investors will always be ready to help you, fund you. And I've seen projects in IIT getting a lot of fundings and in crores and crores, but it is very hard for a person from from any institute or a person a new entrepreneur to get investment, right? So I just I want you to give your insight on whether it is really important for a startup to be IIT, IIM, or NITs to get more funding.
I think it's a fantastic question that you have to ask, Bhuvna. So this is market reality. Okay, this is where it is true. I wouldn't say that does the branding help? To an extent, yes. But does that make it a very successful business? Does it really, is it really a detrimental factor for you to start and generate customers and become an MEP and all of that? Nothing. Absolutely not.
Okay. Yeah, that was actually a question that I wanted to ask. And there are a lot of people who have asked this question in different platforms to different people. But yes, I
Right.
just want to hear from a person who is experienced. So
Sure.
now we are out of all the questions. I have a quick rapid fire session for you. So not more
Okay.
than 5 seconds you should take to answer it. Shall we start?
You stop me at that. I want. That's why.
Sorry, Arun, I was got stuck.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. So we are starting with rapid fire session. So
Okay.
you must
Go
stop.
ahead.
Yeah, not more than five
Yeah.
seconds. Okay. So let's start. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Describe myself in 3 words. Okay, 5 seconds. I am lucky.
You're lucky.
You
Okay.
said 3 minutes. I think I'm very, very lucky. So that's how I'm going to describe.
Okay. So what are the 2 things you would
Yeah.
put on top of your bucket list?
3 things.
Yes.
Why are you so adamant about 3 things?
So you want everything. Yeah. Should I put that way?
Okay. On top of my, I don't know what list, bucket list or whatever it is, the only thing that is up there at this for me is Wizer, to see it through, to see, to hopefully launching on time, to hopefully scaling in the right manner, hopefully doing the right thing with the product itself. That's what is on the bucket list. So,
Okay. So what have you done that you're most proud of?
oh, Sergi Comics.
Okay.
There, what a question.
What is more important, customer or capital?
Customer.
Okay. Okay. Your pet name that you hate the most. One pet
Oh,
name.
my what?
One of
I've
your.
never had pet name. How can you make a short name shorter? I've had a very short name all my life. So,
So yeah. Okay. So the last one. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you at these situations? Firstly, pitching in front of investors.
very cool. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, if 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, say 8.
Okay. Addressing a forum like this.
Addressing forum like this, if 8.
8. Okay. Writing a quantitative exam.
2.
Okay. Submitting a lab record. Don't ask me.
Okay. Submitting a lab record. Bhuvna, you should know this by now. Half of my lab records were written by you. So you wrote half of my lab records. So 2.
Okay. So it was really wonderful to have you, Arun. So
Thank you.
I'm really happy that I had a chance of working in literary seminary under your guidance, and today's session was really enlightening. And now I would request Dr. Rama Vaidyanathan, the director R&D, to give the word of thanks and also to share, how about this session.
Yeah, thank you very much, Arun, and thank you very much, Bhuvna, for anchoring this session. So, yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. And I always feel very proud when I see alumni of MGR doing well and coming back to share some of their stories and insights for the younger students. I think that is really very good. And some of the lessons that you told, which was very important, was one is apart from what you learn in the curriculum, there's also a lot of learning, extra learning, which happens in these clubs. So I think a lot of skill sets of handling people, moving along with them. So this is what they don't teach in the curriculum. And secondly, I think the point you made about customers being the most important part of an entrepreneurship, I think that is very important. So when we have chats with the younger students, current students, and when they talk about entrepreneurship, the first session is very often, what should you do to register your company, so on and so forth,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting a logo. I think that is something that needs to be done much later after you
Absolutely.
identify what you want to do. And the point is, there are a lot of pain points, but will a customer actually pay money? I think that
Right.
is very, very important questions. And if that particular customer segment is not going to pay money, I think we need to
Yes.
reinvent the process and go back.
Yes.
So I think that was a very, very important point that you made. And also, I'm very happy that you said that having a brand like IIT or IIM is definitely very, very important. You'll feel very proud of it if you have that. But I think there is always an opportunity for everybody to do well in entrepreneurship. And what is most important is what is the approach you take and how you handle your customers. So that was a very good point that you made, Arun. And yeah, let me also thank all of the alumni who reached out to us. There are some who said who would like to listen in and also share their own stories in the next episode. We would like to invite all of you to reach out to us, and we hope to have more sessions like this in the future. Thank you very much for your time, Arun. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Arun, for being with us today. So,
Thank you, Bhuvna.
yeah, and I also thank all the viewers and our team, AKC, for helping us having this session.